Hey Flutter Dev, welcome to today's how-to video. If you want to create an arc or circular progress indicator just like this and spice it up with some animations for the progress and text, then you're on the right place. So let's get started. We can start by creating a new widget and we can call it CircularProgressWidget. So let's do that. It needs to be a stateful one, since we're going to create an animation controller and a twin animation to do the animating of the progress. So let's create an animation controller. And as we said, we also need an animation, which will be of type double for the progress. And let's call it progress twin animation. And it's null. We can also, in the init state, initialize the animation controller. We can set the duration to 450 milliseconds. And we again need to add with single ticker provider mixin. Now we can actually set the progress twin animation. The begin will be 0, since the progress starts at 0, and the end will be actually the progress that we need to pass in. And we can call animation and set the controller here. And we can add a listener, since we need to set the state whenever the progress changes. So this should be fine. Now let's check. Yeah, this needs to be called as a cascade. Now we need to add the progress variable here. Setting it to be required. It will be passed a buffer here. We can use the floating action button in order to increase the progress. So let's store that value here. Sorry, it needs to be double. Okay, so on press, we can actually increase the progress by 10% or otherwise 0.1. And if the progress is greater than 1, we can reset the progress to 0. Great, so we can also check that, and let's print the progress. So if we click it, we can see that progress is increasing properly. Yeah, this is a nice one. Yeah, doubles are not always just pure numbers, as you can see here. That's a bit weird, but will work. Yeah, cool. Now that we have the progress, we can actually add the widget. Let's add it here and pass in the progress. Cool. As we can see, it added the placeholder. We didn't yet create any painter for the circular progress indicator, so let's create a painter, a custom painter. We can call it the CircularPainter, so let's create a new class. And it extends a custom painter. And we need to override it to require the methods. The paint and shoulder paint. The shoulder paint, if you want animations, should return true. Otherwise, if you're just doing static progress, then we can return false. So we will return true here. And we're going to construct a paint. So let's create a paint object, paint background. It's a new paint, and let's set the stroke width to be equal to 16. Let's set the color. We predefined the color that is gray. Let's also set the style to be painting style. Stroke. Great. Now we can actually start drawing. We can call canvas.draw a circle. in order to draw the circle, we need the actual offset, radius, and paint. So we already defined the paint. The radius is the half circle's width, and the offset is actually 0, 0, but we want it to be centered in the widget. So we need to get the size of the current widget or the current screen. So let's declare the size of the painter. So we can create a new property called the double. Let's call it widget or circular res size. And we also need to pass in the progress. So let's create the constructor. This dot circular progress size and this dot progress. And they are required, of course. Now we can set the offset and use the circular progress size and just divide it by 2 so we can center it. And the radius is also circular progress size divided by 2. And let's pass in the paint object also, and let's see if we save it. Well, now we can actually return it here. We can set the custom paint and set the painter. So we can set the circular progress size to be 40% of the screen width. So let's do that. We can get the size of the screen by using the media query. Size of. Now that we have the size, let's use the width. Let's use the size dot width and let's multiply it by the circular progress size. Now we also need to pass in the progress. We should get it by the widget dot progress. So once we passed in the size and the progress, let's actually use the progress and draw an arc here, or let's fill the progress. So let's use the canvas to draw an arc here to fill in the circle. So if you look at the draw arc method, it accepts in a rectangle, so that's the size of the arc. It accepts a start angle. So if you look at this chart, the start is here around 3 o'clock, so 0 or 360 degrees. That's the start angle. The sweep angle is how much it will move away from the start angle. And the use center is actually to close in. So if it's 0 degrees is the start and 225 is the end, if you set use center to true, it will close the line. And the final is the paint, so that we can define the color, the shape of the paint, and width. So let's create a new paint. Let's call it progress and progress. We can set the color to be green maybe, and the stroke width should be, I guess, 12. Let's try. And let's also set the stroke join to be stroke join round. So it looks rounded and a bit nicer. So let's set the paint, the center to false. And the start angle, let's set it to be 0 degrees. In this case, it's 0 or 2 pi. Let's set it to be 0. And sweep angle, we need to calculate it. So let's create a method for that. Let's call it convert percentage to radian. And let's create that one. So return a double. So in order to calculate the percentage, we actually need to define how much 1% is in radians. 1% is equal to 0.06283 radian. So let's use that. And now we can just calculate the radian with the percentage, with the progress that we passed in, and multiply that by 100. And the rect, let's draw the rect. So we can create a rect from center. And the center will be again the same as here of center. And the width and height will be also the same. let's check this. Hey there, now is the right time to take a sip of coffee, relax, hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks and continue watching. So it means that we have some calculation issues here, so the width should be the whole width and not half of it, so that it matches the parent. Now it looks better. Since we set the start angle to be here instead of here, let's change it. So let's check again the diagram. So it should be 3 pi divided by 2. So let's do that. 3 times pi, and we need to import the math here, package, and divide by 2. Great, it looks better now. So if you do a hot reload, we can see that the progress is not changing. So let's fix that. Let's go here in the animation. And instead of the progress, let's use the tween animation value. And since it's nullable, let's set it to 0. And also on dispose, we forgot actually to dispose the animation controller. Next thing we need to do in order for this to work is actually, since the widget we use here, it's always in the same position, but the progress is updated. We need to use the method didUpdateWidget. Now we have the old reference of the progress and the new one. We need to create a new progress animation. But first we need to reset the controller, and if any animations are ongoing, to cancel them with the new progress. And for the beginning, we use the old widget.progress. And the new progress will be taken here, and we don't need a set state. So we also need to actually call animation controller.forward. If you remember from my last video, that's how you actually start the animation, which we forgot here, and also to add it here. So if you save it and click plus, let's hot reload it here. Okay, something's still wrong. Let's check. So the progress, as we can see, is being updated in the onPressed method, and we use that progress to pass into the CircularProgressWidget. The CircularProgressWidget has the progress, which we use to do the animation, and also when the widget updates, and we need to change the state, so we need to update the animation here. And here in the CustomPainter, we are passing in the value. So let's see what's going on, what's wrong. Okay, so the progress didn't update because we forgot here to set the state in order to re-render it. So yeah, let's do that. So let's do that. Let's set the state. And let's check now. Yes, as we can see, the state is actually progressing as it should. And we also have this nice low back animation to the beginning. So that's good. If you see clicking it too fast, doesn't look really nice. But yeah, we can also tackle that later on if you want. So next thing, let's actually make the ends round. Another thing that we missed is actually to set the stroke cap, not stroke join. So let's set the stroke cap to be round. We have the rounded ends, so this looks much better. So let's actually fix the sizing. So we can add the child and make it a container, for example. And we need to set here the width and height. So we can use the size here that we're passing into the widget as width and also the height. And we can set the child, for example, to be a center, and set the child text to be the percentage of the progress. So we can use the animation tween animation value, so that we have animating text, and that will look nice. And add the percentage here, and we want actually to format the double to string as fixed and 0 digits. And before doing that, let's actually multiply the progress by 100 and format it. And let's see, yeah, there's the animating, nice. Let's style the text, so we can add the style, text style. We can set the color to be also green. Set the font size, maybe to 32, font weight to bold. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's a bit too big because our widget is a bit smaller. We can actually maybe increase the size of the widget, so we can change the percentage here to be maybe at 30%. Let's reload. Yeah, that looks a bit better now. So let's add some padding from the top text. We can do that by adding just a simple size box here and setting height to 32. Yeah, looks better. And let's add also to the columns some padding here, so it's a bit moving away from the edges. Okay, let's also add now an arc progress indicator. We can actually copy paste this whole class since we don't want to change a lot of things there, so it's reusable. So let's call it the arc progress painter. And let's put it also here. And now instead of the draw circle, we can use draw arc actually. So we can just replace this both and set the paint background here. We can maybe set the color to something else. Let's use the orange and add some transparency, opacity, maybe 0.25. Great, now we want the arc actually to start. Let's see. We want it to start at 135 degrees and end at 45. So that's 3 times pi divided by 4. Let's do that. 3 times pi divided by 4. And here the percentage, we need to actually change it. Since we're not dividing, or we're not using the full circle, we're using only 270 degrees. Now we need to divide 3 pi by 2 and divide it by 100. We get 1% equal of a radians. So let's do that. 3 times pi divided by 2 and divide by 100. Let's put this in brackets. So now we have the appropriate radian percentage. Let's actually use it and see how it looks. So we can wrap this custom paint with a column and again copy paste the whole value and change here from circular to arc painter, and let's see what happens. Okay, we need some spacing here, so let's do that. Yeah, we have some spacing, that's good. And as we can see, we're almost there. We have some offset values. So let's change this color also here to be orange. And let's also set the stroke cap here to be also rounded. Looks a bit better, I guess. Yep. Great. So we can see that the start is good, the end is not good. So we need to actually change it here to be, let's check the value. The end is pi divided by 4. Let's check. Oh, okay, that's the sweep angle, sorry. Yeah. The sweep angle, so it starts from 135 degrees and it should end here. So that's 270 degrees. So we need to add additional sweep angle 3 pi divided by 2. Yeah, that's good. And now we need to check the percentage. So again, the start angle is wrong. Let's change that. Yeah, start is good now. And the percentage, let's check. Yeah, seems that it's proper percentage also. Great. That's how easily you can also add your own arc progress indicator. And let's also change the text color so it matches. Let's do that now. All right. Great. Looks really nice, I would say. So from here on, you can customize how you like the styling, the sizing, also where the angle starts and ends, and yeah, also the animation duration and other things. Thanks for sticking till the end. I hope that you learned something new. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or would like me to talk on a specific topic, please leave a comment down below. Thanks, and until next time.